So welcome to a new tutorial. We will create a rim today, and for that, of course, I created a project and I have here my source images and the image here inside, and I imported it into the front view. What I also did is I scaled the image to 0.1, and I tried to position it right in the middle. So when I have the logo here, it should be right across here in the middle. Of course, here it is not perfect, but and I also rotated it in Z direction here at about 0.8 to ensure that this line is quite in the middle. Okay, the image isn't perfect, none of the images aren't perfect, but I'll try to do my best here to do it right in the middle. Okay, then the first thing we will do, we will create a cylinder and rotate it 90 degrees. And I of course scale it, and I need here a lot of subdivisions, because planning a rim is a little bit of planning the geometry in the first steps, and normally I always say decrease your subdivisions, but here I say at the first time increase your subdivisions in the axis to 80. Why 80? Of course, there's a lot of geometry, but what I do, of course, I just model 1/5 here, this part actually, and I do here a lot of geometry because it helps me somehow in the small parts here to connect it afterwards. And I have here, of course, 80 is a multiple of 5, of course, and I can take here the lines that to cut geometry away afterwards. And what we also need is some subdivisions in the caps. Why? I will show you later. So I just do 4 here, of course, or maybe 5. And no, I show you here right away. So when we have this, I also scale it. Be sure that everything here is perfectly in the middle. Don't move it, because that's really important. So I scale it so that the outer edge fits here. And the first thing I will do is actually I delete the back side. So I just have a flat stuff here. This will also help me during my process. And then I will take one of the edge loops and I scale them here that I follow along the different lines that I have here. Okay, that one. And of course there is another one, and maybe I need even another one. So insert edge loop. Also need one here, and the inner edge loop, I just scale it here to the size of the logo ring. And maybe I'll do some more edge loops. I might need them later on, or maybe not. I'll do here another one, and also maybe here, and I just use one here, maybe just in case. Okay, and now I should actually get rid of, or now I'm prepared to get rid of too much extra geometry I have here. And for that, you see here, when I count them, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 parts here. And sorry, of course we will keep 3 of them. So I click here and double click the second one, so it's right selecting everything in the middle. And also here 1, 2, 3, and the fourth, maybe I should press shift. So shift and double click and everything is selecting to the middle. I just do this with first one and delete the stuff. Of course, I can just select all of the parts here. So delete them how, in which way you ever want to delete it. Maybe, or what I could try actually, let me see if this works. No, it's selecting too much. I just hope that the grow selection stuff will help me. So it's easier for me to do this in that way. Just keep pressing shift so that this is going away. Then I select all the stuff here, delete that. So what is really important, never ever move here these vertices, or of course on the other side or here on the inside. You aren't allowed to move here the points on this line, because when you move them you will get, then when we actually mirror this fifth to mirror, you can't say mirror, when we duplicate it 5 times it won't fit here together. So never move the parts here. What I can do actually is get rid of, I know I won't use them, these parts here. And I have to re-topology my geometry, because I need here some other stuff of movement. So I also delete that part here. Okay. I will get rid of even more geometry, and I take here the 3 parts in the middle. Okay. Then I will also actually delete them because I reconnect them. And for that I take, of course they're a little bit too thick, but for the rough geometry I take these 2 edges and bridge them. So I have here a line and also one, connect them with that. Okay. Now I can get rid of this one or these 2. And I will do a connection here again. And for that I will just delete that, and that. Okay. And here I will just get rid of some of the geometry here, because I don't need them. So I take 2 and also these 2 and these 2. No, was the wrong one. So again, 2 here, 2 here. I leave 1, 2 here, and no, not that one. Leave them. So be careful, okay, what you delete. And also get rid of okay, now you have to be careful when you get rid of vertices. Of course we need the outer ones, so I leave them so that they are not selected, otherwise they might be also deleted. And now I can do a connection between here and here with a bridge, and between here and here. Oops. So again, one tool, bridge. So this is my first rough structure, and I will actually here, for example, I will scale this up because I will need here the rough geometry then afterwards. And now we have the issue of this hole here, and for that actually I will create here an edge loop because I want to get rid of some of the parts here. Actually, all of them. Not all, but the most. Maybe also this. Okay? Because you never can form this kind of geometry to a perfect round circle. And so that's the reason why I create myself under Polygon primitives. You find it, pipe. And of course I have to rotate it 90 degrees, and here I'll take 10, no, even less, 8. The lesser I have, the less work I will have later on. So then we'll put it somewhere here. I have to check where in the world I am here, because I'm somewhere nowhere. So press F on my keyboard so I can focus everything. So what I check, of course, is that this has translate x 0 completely 0, okay, because we need it perfectly in the middle, even if the image is a little bit away from it, and check that it has nearly here the same position. Okay, not too bad. And of course I will delete here the back side. So now we see that we also have to get, I still have here geometry, so I will also get rid of them. And what I do, I take the outer edge and I just extrude it. First I make it a little bit smaller and then I extrude it here. Okay, and now because I want two edges here on the inner side, and this one now I will reconnect to the rest of the geometry. And for that I will just scale up here. And to connect it with bridges, of course, I need to combine them first. Oops. Mesh, combine, otherwise it won't work. And now I connect these with bridges. Okay. Then also this is offering itself for bridges. Also here. Maybe I need here a subdivision. I will think about it later. And now here I have the issue that we have too much geometry for connecting just one part. But be careful here. I need, actually maybe I should have left the geometry I had before. And when I now insert an edge loop, it won't work here. And when I try to insert an edge loop here, you see what happens. I have a little bit of issues I don't want to have. So the only thing I could do is I select these parts, I extrude them. This here, get some double curve. But I need one to be left here over. And with the other stuff, I can do whatever I want. So, because actually, I just delete these two, or maybe also here in the middle, so don't need them anymore. And here, also delete just one little part. Oops, close the editor, so get rid of that. Now I can do a bridge again, here, also here. And you see, I don't have here quite good geometry, so just putting it up. And now I select these two edges and say fill hole, and so I hope it worked. Switching off my X-ray so that I can see a little bit better. I'm not sure if the fill hole was good for the geometry, so I may do it separately and not all together. Fill hole, okay, yes, now it keeps my color. Press G on the keyboard to and here I need here some edge loops, but I want them, of course, be the completely same height. And for that, I just take my multi-cut tool. I have to select it in the object mode. Okay, multi-cut. And then I affix here my line, which I'm drawing through the geometry with the Shift key. And of course, I get here also an edge loop I don't need, but I'm just getting rid of that. Also, always get rid of vertices. So push them down, and now I have here place for doing. So where's my edge mode? Yeah, I can do here bridges again, here and here. No, I think I can't do it together, so I do it in that way. So connect them here. And these two. No, not extrude. Bridge. And here I do the fill hole again. That is here. And here. So that's my first step. So the geometry here doesn't look quite nice, and for duplicating actually this edge, there is another tool or trick that will help us, and here it is. We use bevel, and of course we use it actually for smoothing out edges, but here it will help us actually to duplicate our edge loop. And what I do here is segments 2, and the reason why I do that is that I still keep my perfect round shape here, but I can now re-topologize my geometry a little bit. For example, I can here do this I just go here to one edge. Of course, I'm now creating a triangle, but I'm get rid of my polygon. And the reason why I duplicated the edge here is that I keep it, of course, when I do it in the smooth mode later on, I keep here my form. To do it a little bit more, to look that it looks more nice, of course, I can, for example, push it here a little inside, but that's just fine tuning. And here, for example, just put them up. I have to check here my X-ray. Oh, I'm not allowed to destroy actually here my position. And what I also use here is, because I need that for the curvy form, I need here an edge anyway. And be sure that you, when you do something, do it always on both sides. Okay, so here for the curve form, I have to insert myself edge loops, otherwise I can't do that. And also I need one here, because I have to push this inside a little bit more. And for that, because I want to have a straight line, I always take two. So push them inside. Of course, it looks here not so perfect. I'm focusing on this side. Then I'm taking these two, scale them, and for that area I scale them so that they are moving right along the edges. Of course, you can do the half and just mirror it later on. Okay, so now its geometry is nice here. Can't go too far. Actually, I have two triangles here, so just can delete that. Now I have no, it went triangles, sorry. I can, no, just leave that. Okay. And of course, actually it would be here a little bit better geometry if this doesn't go to a point here. So I just delete that and insert myself an edge loop. So, but to keep it right in the middle, I open up my options, insert edge loop, and say here multiple edge loop. Take it to one. And this ensures that it is right here in the middle and nowhere else, and so these points will connect together afterwards, and the rest, of course, I have to do here manually. Oops, maybe I created too much here. And now the smoothing does look like a little bit better. Okay. Of course, this will smooth out, but when we have a connection here, this will be fixed, and we'll go right up here and see what we can do more for our geometry. At that point, I actually decide to delete half of my object, because when I fix here the geometry and do any detailing, I don't want to have the doubled work, so I'm just deleting here the half and come back later and mirror it. So what we do here, we will move, no, actually I don't move the geometry, I will retopology it, because when I now move some of the parts, it could happen that you do move it too strange and then the geometry gets destroyed. So what I do here is I take my multi-cut tool and start here cutting the geometry right away until this point here. And also I connect it from here. No, I will move that. When we just do a little bit of movement, that's okay, but when it's too much, or maybe you do that, okay, now we have a straight line. And actually I want to also have a straight line here. So close the attribute editor. And what I do is I get rid of geometry I don't need and get rid of points I don't need. And what I do is I do that kind of connection. I'm not sure if this will make then our life a little bit edgier, but I'm risking it. Okay, this is one part. I see that here I should, okay, get rid of that. Move it a little bit. Also that one, because it's not straight. And here I will take all of them and do it with the slide edge tool to move it a little bit more inward, okay? And this curve, I will see it later on with the extruding inside if we have to model it or if it will help us anyway. So for that one, because that's not on the right position, and also that one I can move here. Also always move it with slide edge, because that's moving perfectly from the inside to the outside. And that one I will just, because we can't slide that because there is no movement, so I insert here another one. Maybe you did work more accurate from the beginning. So now I can slide it again and do it perfectly where I want to have it. And then I just delete the parts that I don't need. And actually I also don't need that, because this I will do with an extrusion afterwards. Delete that, also delete that. Okay, and here I also have the same issue. I just want to do connection from here, and I just go straight to this point so that I get a perfectly straight line, and I'm getting rid of these. I just leave that because I might need it. So, and what do we do? You see here that the chrome stuff here is a little bit higher than the everything else. And what I do, I prepared now my geometry actually along there, so that I can take all of the pieces here that were just a little bit higher, and I will extrude them. Like that. And see what happens. Now I have here, actually, we'll check in the form. Yeah, it does a good job without any helping. And for the next step, so this is one layer, then there is another layer, and for that I will take, let me see if I have to, Now I just take them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and also that one. Oh, here, too much. So here we go. I pushed it even further. So go here to that. I push this inside. Maybe not so far. Okay, a little bit. And I immediately get rid of the faces that were created but I don't need, and that are that one. Okay. Delete, delete. Get rid of them. And then do the next layer. So with that stuff selected, and also that one. And do another extrude. Okay. Then get rid of the faces you don't need. Okay. Let's see what's... Doesn't look so bad, but of course we have to fill here some more stuff, and of course getting some more edge loops and so on. But now we're getting to the next step.